Hello everybody, Blue Dooley, and in this ATS video we're going to be talking about trucking. The mod truck is available on Steam. It is a Freightliner FLD. We'll jump into the customization of it. I do want to apologize as the game does stutter quite a bit. I don't know if I have the graphics settings up too high to be recording it, as I do all of it on one machine. And I've seen in some other people's videos that the mirrors can cause stuttering, just the way the game renders the mirrors. So I'm not real sure. Mom came up over the weekend. We had a great visit with her, as we always do. So that's why there was no videos uploaded over the weekend. Last Wednesday's video, the sound quality was just terrible and I did not get a chance to re-record it. And I'm actually redoing the intro for this video to kind of explain what's going on. With that, we'll jump into the game, check out the truck, and then we'll talk about trucking while driving through Idaho. This is an absolutely gorgeous model, tons of customization. One of my favorite things, I wish all mod trucks need to be able to do this. Paint the frame. I'd like it if it actually just popped up the paint window so you could select what color it is. That would be awesome, because then you could really customize the truck. The frame also paints the rear ends and changes your strap colors. I also like on this truck, you can change what the type of straps you have. You can have an aluminum tank, you can have the chrome tanks, or you can have the tanks painted, which is awesome. The straps are separate. All trucks in the game should have that option. Paint the frame, paint the tanks, change the straps. That kind of customization is just killer. And this thing you can light up like a Christmas tree. Everywhere there's a little red dot, you can put lights on this truck. You can cover almost every inch of the cab with lights. Just an awesome truck. The sound quality is also really there too. Paint job, tons of paint jobs. The Elder Scrolls wrap. That's pretty sick, not gonna lie. Then of course you got a bunch of various colors. Interior, really well modeled. And actually on interior mod, that's not the right one. Panels. You can change the panel colors. Even the Elder Scrolls wrap on your dash. Like I said, just an awesome truck. For some reason the mirrors are way back there. You can change the racks for your stacks. Painted, custom. A bunch of different exhaust options. Oops, clicked out of it. So, definitely just a really well made truck. I already have one set up. I put strobes in the grill, got my light bars on top, running quad train horns, the big chrome straight edge stacks. Just an awesome mod. It is unfortunately raining, but that's okay. Let me adjust my headset volume here a little bit. And actually the dozer isn't that much wider than the trailer, so trailer for the width rise of the route will be alright. But lengthwise we're actually running right at a little bit longer than what's legal up that road without a permit. Let's fire the truck up. It does sound good. I have fogs on the bar, and I said strobe lights. Just an awesome looking truck, just an awesome sounding truck. Again, I put more lights on the steps even, and reverse lights on the back of the truck on my bars between the stacks. You can really doll this thing up the way you want it. You can also change the gauge color. Got my phone and my coffee cup. Just a cool truck. We'll get rolling here. I'm running a 12+1 transmission, so it's got that really low first gear. And an awesome sounding jake brake. We are at 84,132 pounds. Use that granny gear. If you're thinking to yourself, looks like you're wearing the same shirt you were wearing in your last ATS vlog video a week ago, you're not wrong, because I filmed 2 of my Wednesday ATS vlog videos on the same day. Mom's coming into town, so I wanted to get some filming done before she got here. That way I could just hang out with my mom and not have to worry about making videos. Alright, traffic. Cut him off. I'm not going to sit there all day. I didn't cover the engines, but you can get up to 605 horsepower, either Cummins or Caterpillar. And just an excellent job on the sounds. Especially that Jake. Just an awesome sounding truck. Scare the shit out of that other driver. Hope everyone's having a good week. I had a great visit with Mom. I always have a great visit with Mom, so we would have went up to the Basque Festival at Haley, up in Haley, Idaho, where they do some traditional dance, as well as the history of herding sheep up in that area of the state. Really interesting if you're into history at all. Definitely worth checking out. Plus, since it's in October, the weather's usually really nice. It's actually this year it was the first full weekend, or no, second weekend of the month, excuse me. It ran from the 6th to the 10th. If you're into the cultural kind of history, it's worth checking out. There's a lot of neat stuff to check out. Lots of arts and crafts to buy and see. Just a fun time. So while we're hauling this dozer, I thought we'd actually just talk about why I like trucking. And while it does have its headaches, every job has their headaches. No job is probably perfect, I would say. They all have something about them that just might not be as enjoyable as the rest of it. But primarily, I don't like being stuck in a building. Yeah, you wait. I've spent, even in high school, I worked as a delivery driver. So I've spent so much of my life going someplace, clocking in, getting in a vehicle and driving. I wouldn't want to do anything else. I do not understand how some of you people can get up and sit in an office for 8 hours a day. That would just drive me bonkers. Even when the weather's not good, I like driving. I just enjoy it so much. Because I was one of those kids in high school that would rather look out the window or daydream than do any classwork. In fact, I barely graduated high school. Mainly because I didn't care. And I didn't do the schoolwork, which aggravated my parents and my teachers to no end, along with some friends, because I wouldn't even study for a test and get 90-95% on a test, having not studied for it and not did any of the homework for it. Which my best friend, it annoyed to no end, because he would cram for every test. And he'd still do good because he's smart. But he'd always get mad at me because, oh yeah, I didn't even read the thing and I got an A or a B. Definitely one of those kids that the normal school, well, the American way of teaching, it was boring. History class, shop classes, and art classes I did really good in. But math, yeah. I mean, even when I was in tech school, I never used any of the math that they insisted I would use in real life from high school. Excuse me. So I do kind of get a chuckle out of, I am one of those people who everybody said, nobody's going to pay you to look out a window. And here I am, making pretty good money, getting paid to look out a window. This truck just sounds good. I went to Universal Technical Institute down in Phoenix, Arizona to be a truck mechanic and heavy equipment mechanic, and actually graduated with honors and a 4.0, which surprised a lot of people because, as I said, I barely graduated high school. Don't know what that stutter was, but... And I have been a mechanic. Been a mechanic a couple of times for a few different outfits. I actually worked at a Cummins shop in Joplin, Missouri for a little while. They hired me and another guy because they were going to be running a lot of trucks through the shop to change out the governor settings and add jake brakes to them, because when they were originally purchased, they didn't have engine brakes on them. So we were installing engine brakes, changing the governor, servicing them, so then the company that was buying them used, they'd be configured correctly for their use. And I'd have liked to have stayed there, as it was really interesting, and the guys I worked with were awesome. But the company decided, we're going to do something else with these trucks. So now they had too many guys on staff to keep busy. And the manager actually called some guys he knew at other shops to find us jobs, which was awesome. Worked at a different shop for a little while, just missed being out and about and moving. And actually, it kind of worked out as a blessing that we moved back to Wyoming from Missouri, as I want to say 2 years after we'd moved back, Joplin had that really nasty tornado come through and almost flatten everything. The 2 shops I had worked at were gone. The apartment my wife and I were living in, we weren't married at the time, was just nothing but a foundation when Dad went down to check on some family. And thankfully all of my family survived. But yeah, I just enjoy being out, traveling so much. If I was going to be a mechanic, I'd have to be a mobile mechanic. Quite frankly, I couldn't sit in a shop all day. I'd go out of my mind. Even trash was fun. I mean, as fun as trash could be. But at least with that, and now that I'm hauling trusses, I have interaction with a lot of people. While I'm doing the same thing every day, I'm not doing the same thing every day, if that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'm driving a truck, and I might be going to the same part of town, but every load isn't the same. The different contractors and framers want their truss packs dropped off in different spots, or have their preferred place they would like it dropped off. So that really mixes it up. I enjoy driving. I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't do it. Ooh, them stutters are weird. Came in a little hot. Unless the weather's really bad, which, if it's really bad, we'll actually move a load out. You know, if it's a blizzard where we're going to deliver the trusses to, the framers aren't going to be out working in it. And anybody with a crane isn't going to try to sling trusses in strong winds and blowing snow. That's just not safe from a number of standpoints. Trash, even if the weather was really bad, we'd still be out and in. Trash has to be hauled no matter what the weather's doing. In fact, the couple of years I did it in Casper, there was only 1 or 2 days that the weather was bad enough. We're kind of like, you know what, we should all go back to the shop, call it a day, and reevaluate what we're doing. And it wasn't necessarily because visibility was bad. It was more to do with how slick the roads were and how cold it was. Because in Wyoming, I've mentioned it in other videos, I've been in weather so cold that the truck's hydraulics will never warm up. They'll just be sluggish and bog the engine down because the hydraulic fluid is so cold and so thick. Or you'd haul something, a container that was inside, so it'd thaw, and in the 10 minutes it took you to get from the where you picked it up and it was being thawed to empty it, it's frozen solid again. Just unreal how cold that can get. You know, the couple of days we did call in, it's like, you know, it's so cold that the guy's hanging off the back of the truck. It's too cold to hang off the back of the truck, even with good winter gear. Stutters. Oh, thanks for letting me pass. But with oversized, especially, it's kind of one of those, we can wait. Not only for our safety, but since we don't have any way to put lights on the load to mark how wide it is, we can only just put flags on it. You know, if it's snowing or raining, or mainly snowing really hard, and we worry about people not being able to see the load on the truck. Ooh, that was close. It's better to just call it a day and come in the next day and check road reports and things like that. Alright, game, what is your problem today? Plus, depending on the weather, it might not be too bad to get into a subdivision in town. But you go up to Haley, Ketchum, Sun Valley, or Teutonia, Driggs, you know, towns up there in the mountains where they might have gotten just, you know, in Twin we might have gotten a skiff, in Haley they might have got 1.5 feet. So it's hard to get in and out of the job site. If they don't have the area clean, you might not see anything hidden under the snow. So those kind of reasons are why we kind of just go, well, go home, we'll see you in the morning. The boss is pretty good about trying to avoid doing that, but myself and the other 2 drivers have been drivers long enough. You just kind of know some days the weather you just park and sit, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. But I enjoy driving so much. This bridge here, I got dash cam footage of. We're going to throw it up on screen, and yeah, it's a lot narrower than this. SCS has all the roads at 12-foot wide lanes, and that is just not the case coming up this canyon. That bridge, those lanes might be 9-10 foot wide. They are not 12 foot wide. I've been up this road in a truck in the middle of winter, and Idaho does a pretty good job about keeping roads clear in the wintertime. God, that frame rate sucks right now. But you get up north of Horseshoe Bend in the wintertime, and it is just an absolutely gorgeous drive. It's pretty year-round. If the river's up high enough in the spring, you'll see people whitewater rafting almost all year. Kind of depends on how high the river's running. Just a beautiful drive. And I'm kind of like my dad. I like, meeting people when you go someplace new or different. Stop in the gas station, talk to somebody for a minute while you're waiting in line. And the challenge of it, because we take oversized loads in all the places you're not supposed to take oversized loads. Which are residential areas. And there is kind of something fun about being 13 foot wide on a golf course to deliver some just big old fancy house. And making all those people scoot over for you so you can get where you're going. I actually had a gentleman in a Trump hat at a subdivision for people who have really large bank accounts. Complained to me for about 20 minutes about being in that neighborhood. And I wanted to say something smart, but I managed to bite my tongue and not mouth off to him, since he mentioned knowing the, at the time, head of both trust factor plants for Franklin Building Supply. Because that guy also lives in that subdivision. So I did. I got a lecture from a Republican because I was doing my job. It's a very strange world. But in those kinds of places, people want their fancy houses, but they don't want other people to be building there. So he's mainly throwing a fit that he was inconvenienced from me being parked in the middle of the road. For 5 minutes. Actually, if he hadn't lectured me for so long, I would have been able to get out of his way sooner, but nope. He had to say something. I just smiled and said, "Yes, sir, no, sir." I wanted to say, "Well, how the fuck did you think your house got here?" But I didn't. I was thinking it, but I didn't say it. Because I like my job and I want to keep my job. And I would wager just about any job where you have to deal with people you have wanted to tell someone to piss off. Especially if you work in retail. Always fun when you're rolling through a small town and a bunch of kids are pumping their fist in the air to get you to blow the air horns. That brings out the 10-year-old kid in me for sure. When you do the fist bump and somebody blows their air horns for you. And I always do. At least if I see him, I always do. If I'm looking off to the other side of the road and I don't see him. Yeah. I get a kick out of the fist pump. And not so much trash, but I mean, little kids think trash trucks are cool, no matter what gender they are, up until a certain age. There's just something supremely fascinating about seeing a truck smash something. In fact, I never got tired of smashing things in a garbage truck. Ooh, an oven? This is going to be cool. Oh, a TV? This thing's going to explode. This is going to be awesome. But to watch people's faces when when I'm unloading the truss packs, that's something really cool to see. I have a video on my channel unloading some trusses, but when you pull up with everything loaded and they're standing there going, how are you going to get those off? And you say, well, they roll off the back. And they just kind of look at you funny like, what? So to see their face when you tilt the trailer up and then slide the tandems all the way forward so the back end of the trailer is sitting on the ground, and then you just walk them off, it's kind of cool to see when they finally understand how it works. And this year in particular, I've had such a humongous range of jobs. That's interesting to me too. I have hauled houses you would see on MTV Cribs, just 15, 16, 20,000 square foot houses. And then I've done some additions, or at the beginning part of the year, we re-roofed a house for a family who lost everything in a fire except the floor and the 4 exterior walls. The fire just gutted the house. Oh, somebody stuck in my pocket. So to see the relief on their faces when I pulled up with the trusses so they could continue rebuilding their house, that's hard to describe. That's a feeling you're like, yeah, somebody really appreciates what we're doing. Yeah, thankfully we don't do a lot of fire repairs. We do some, usually not the whole house, because in most cases the fire department gets there fast enough. They pretty much can keep it contained to 1 or 2 rooms, so you just have to throw some trusses on one side of the house or the other. Yeah, I've delivered roofs for sheds, add-ons, barns, done some monster shops and barns. My personal longest at the job so far is 78 feet from tail to tail. which is 3 to 8 feet longer than a standard truck and trailer. Like if you've seen a Walmart truck or Swift, that standard kind of Freightliner Cascadia with a 53-foot trailer, they're about 75 feet. So yeah, having a load that is 3 feet longer than that. And I know guys have hauled longer. I've seen them. Especially the dudes that do the metal trusses for like Walmart or Costco-sized buildings or factories. I've seen them guys hauling 100-foot spans. Upshifted a little too soon. But that again is kind of the difference between them and me, is they're going from a warehouse to what's going to be probably another warehouse. And yeah, Walmarts and Targets or malls are not always in the most accessible locations. When they're being built, they usually have a fair amount of room. You know, I'm, what was it, 96 feet from bumper to tail and 13 foot 10 wide, and I'm going in a gated community. Where the gate is only 3 inches wider than the trusses. And those, they're a little frustrating just because if you get there when nobody's trying to leave, I didn't realize it was that slow. It's not too bad, but if you're trying to get in there while everybody's trying to go to work, or get home from work, depending on how late you are, it can be a little bit of a frustration. But that's any job. I'm sure those guys that deliver in New York or Boston, downtown LA or stuff like that, I'm sure they'll laugh at me for complaining about being in a gated community with low traffic. But I do. I just enjoy driving. I like the challenge. I like going new places. And getting paid to do it. I mean, there are other jobs that get paid to travel. But you don't see as much from a plane as you do a truck. If you drive, let me know in the comments what you enjoy about driving. Do you like being by yourself out on the open road? Do you like just seeing new places and all the beautiful countryside wherever you're trucking from? Let me know. Let's talk about travel and driving. Getting dark enough we can see the strobe lights on the building. Of course, unlike a lot of truckers, I'm home every night. We only pretty much cover, well, the area we cover is wherever we can get in 5.5 hours one way. In Winnemucca, Winnemucca's about as far south west as I can go. McCall from Jerome isn't actually that bad of a trip. It's, well, with unloading, you're right at about 11 hours. And depending on how big the load is, that's 30-40 minutes to unload. And then I usually eat lunch. And it's just a gorgeous drive up there. I haven't been at all this year, which is kind of weird. Usually go up there with floors. Or let me know if you're one of those people who just drive because you just enjoy driving so much of it. You can't put a finger on what it is you like about it. You just, it's just something you enjoy, and you don't necessarily have to have a reason for why you enjoy it. You just do. Scared the shit out of them, I bet. Of course, the other drivers do give me a hard time because I stop more than they do. Partly because I drink a lot of water. So I generally have to get out and use the bathroom a little more than they do. That, and as big as I am, well, as tall as I am, I occasionally need to get out every once in a while just to stretch my legs. Because while the old T800 isn't cramped, it's not exactly what I'd call roomy by any stretch of the imagination. My boss usually gives me the most grief about it. And I just remind him, I was like, well, you know what? You wouldn't be so cranky if you'd gotten out and flirted with the girls at the gas station a little more often. I'm not saying I dawdle or drag my feet. I just don't necessarily I don't think you have to be running all the time. You know, just a good steady pace. It's really dark back here. Yeah, this truck just lights up so good. Got the lights on the mirrors even. Let's get her in, Granny. Actually, since we're here, let's turn those off. We'll get her backed in here. we're not getting close. I'm not gonna mess around. Not gonna mess around trying to get this perfect. We'll be here all night. $400 miles, took 10 hours, 49 minutes, drank 54 gallons of fuel, got a ton of XP, long distance bonus, high value bonus, and urgent delivery bonus. Ooh. Made 26,000 bucks. That'll do it for this video. Check out the Freightliner FLD. It is on Steam and it is free. Awesome truck. You can light it up like a Christmas tree if you want. Just put lights all over it. Truck sounds good, looks great. The interior is really nicely done. And that was talking about trucking. Definitely leave a comment down below what you like about truck driving. I know we all kind of complain about the same thing. So let's talk about the things we do like. The travel, scenery, meeting new people, just being by yourself. Which I know a lot of us kind of enjoy. Like, I like people, but at the same time, I don't want to be with people all the time. So truck driving's really nice because I can talk to people for a little bit, get in the truck, and be left alone until I get to the next place where I got to talk to people. Hope everyone's having a good week. I'm glad Mom came out. I keep shaking the desk. Hope everyone had a good week. I know mine's going pretty good. Had a great visit with Mom, and we'll catch you in the next video.